Welcome back to the Ryoka Show. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we are talking about surrender, what it really means, and how letting go can actually help you get more of what you want. We live in a world that tells us always to work harder and never stop. So the idea of surrender, we don't hear it much, but surrender is powerful. It can totally shift the way you go after your goals and live your life. If you've ever worked hard for something, a job, relationship, a dream, and still felt stuck or frustrated, this episode is for you. We'll talk about why trying to control everything can hold you back and how surrendering, not giving up, but letting go, can open new doors and fresh ideas. It's about learning to trust the process even when things feel unclear. Letting go allows things to unfold in their own time. I'm excited to explore this with you, so let's get started. What does surrender really mean? When I say surrender, I don't mean giving up or being weak. Think of it like this. You're holding something in your hand tight. Your knuckles are white. Now imagine releasing your grip, opening your hand. That's surrender. Or picture holding a rope tied to a kite. If you pull too tight, the kite can't fly. But if you hold it gently, firm but soft, the kite catches the wind and lifts off. That's surrender. Letting go of the need to control every little thing and trusting that things will move forward naturally. Have you ever tried to fall asleep when your mind won't stop racing? The more you try to fall asleep, the harder it gets. But when you stop forcing it and just relax, sleep comes. Surrender is like that too. It's trust, it's softness, and honestly, it takes courage to stop gripping so tight. Why trying to control everything stop manifestation? Have you ever planned your day perfectly, then something unexpected happens and you are totally thrown off? Or you had a specific way a project had to go, but things didn't line up and you get stressed or discouraged. That's control, and it often creates resistance. It's like trying to squeeze toothpaste back into the tube. The more you try, the messier it gets. When you control too much, you get tense. Stress clouds our thinking and shuts down creativity. But losing control isn't always bad. Sometimes it leads to something better, a new opportunity, helpful person, a path you hadn't seen before. Control usually comes from wanting safety and certainty, but we know that in life, nothing is certain, and life doesn't always work on our schedule. So how do we actually start surrendering? First, notice when you are holding on too tight, like checking your phone every few minutes, waiting for a message. That's a sign of control. When you notice it, pause, take a deep breath, and say, I don't need to control this. I trust it'll happen when it's meant to. Here is a simple challenge. Pick one thing you usually try to control and let go of that control today. It could be how your day goes or how a conversation turns out, and say, I'll do my part, but I'm open to how it unfolds. Think of driving in traffic. You can't control the traffic. You can stress yourself or you can turn on music and enjoy the ride. That's surrender, accepting what you can't change and choosing peace. Even 1 minute of deep breathing can help. It calms your mind and brings you back to center. I remember when I was stuck in life during the pandemic and I wanted to control everything. I was in a place of total confusion, trying to figure out my path, feeling pressure to get it right. I kept forcing myself to find the perfect answer, but nothing felt clear. Finally, I let go of that pressure and I focused on healing and reconnecting with myself by waking up early, doing meditation, journaling, and yoga. And slowly, clarity came. That's when I found my purpose, helping people rewrite their stories that limit their potential and live lives that they truly love. Surrender doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. Sometimes before you can let go, you have to feel what's there. Sadness, disappointment, fear, or guilt. It's totally normal to resist. Your brain wants to protect you by holding on to what's familiar, even if it's not helping you anymore. But holding it in keeps you stuck. Part of surrender is giving yourself space to feel, to grieve what could have been without blaming yourself. It's like carrying a heavy backpack. When you finally set it down, you feel lighter. Letting go might look like crying, journaling, or just sitting quietly with your emotions. It's not about pushing feelings away. It's about letting them move through you so you can move forward. You've probably heard the steps of manifestation. 3 steps to manifestations are ask, believe, and receive. You ask for what you want. You believe it's possible. And then you open yourself to receive. But receiving doesn't happen if you are gripping too tightly. You have to be open. That's where surrender comes in. If you are stuck on how or when something has to happen, you might miss a better way it could arrive. Surrender is saying, I'm ready to receive, even if it looks different than I imagined. Maybe you are looking for a job. If you only say yes to one specific title or company, you might miss a role that fits you even better. Let go of the how. Let go of the when. Trust that what's right for you will show up in its own way and in its own time. Remember a little challenge for you to do today? Pick one thing you're trying to control and practice letting it go. Let yourself feel whatever comes up and notice how you feel after. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it for you to share it with your friend. Until next time, keep shining.